Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Warriors episode 559. Whew. It's so many episodes.
That is a big number. The number keeps getting bigger, Justin. We need to go backwards for a little while.
We should go count down to. I don't know what we'll do at 1, but we'll see. As always, I'm your host Justin Baker. As always, I'm joined by a viable human, Chris Saturn.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Saturn. We have housekeeping.
Yeah.
And it's that we're guys doing his after party after the ending theme. So stay tuned after the ending theme to hear Guy. I don't know why I always explain it like it's this complex idea. Like, well, so the ending theme's gonna happen, but you don't go away because there's more content. I mean, Marvel movies have been out since 2007. We know how it works. You got to watch the whole credits. There's another thing after the credits. He's our Nick Fury.
Well, people get scared away when they start hearing Patreon plugs, and they're like, "Oh, I guess it's over now." But don't be scared away.
Don't do that.
There will be more content. It'll be ridiculous content, and it may or may not be on topic.
Guy said he had a bone to pick with me, so I presume it's going to be 10 minutes of him yelling at me.
Yeah.
But that's which he's never done before, but for some reason I'm levying that at him now.
So if anyone wants to know in advance why you should also be mad at Justin, stick around.
Right. There you go. My week. I wrote a book.
You did. I see this.
I've been so busy. It's the
self-imposed projects.
Yeah, well, so jettisoning out of Discord kind of made me sort of I've taken that momentum into my own life of being like, I need to get off of cloud platforms. I need to host my own stuff. And I need to take my kind of digital existence into my own hands and take care of myself and my situation, because the stuff I've relied on my whole adult life is going away actively. So, and also we've had multiple people be like, I love the Linux talk at the beginning of the show. So the people that don't love it, you got to be louder than them, because I'm about to talk about Linux for like 10 minutes. Yeah. So now I know you're not used to telling everyone computer stuff all the time and your opinions on computers because you don't use Linux. If you did, it would be a primary hobby of yours, telling people how much you do or don't like hearing about computers.
Right.
So I did try to bullet point it. So this is just a list of server/Linux/networking stuff that I've learned about and employed in my home. I've been calling it my home lab because that's basically what's turned into.
That's basically
my home lab in the last 2 weeks. Grafana, Prometheus, OpenWRT, PoE devices, Omada controller, VLANs, Podman, Image, Merger FS, and Faster Whisper.
I personally use several of those.
Yeah.
I've got Merger FS set up on my file server. I've got multiple VLANs set up on my router. I've had multiple VLANs set up for a long time.
I've heard about them, but I was always like, why would you want that? And I did a little more reading, and so my router now, it's a Raspberry Pi 4. I'm talking to you on it now, and I built it. I built the open. It's real easy. I mean, easy. It's relatively easy. It's easier than the phrase "I built my own router" implies that it would be.
Right.
So I'll say that because you say that, and I'm like, oh my god! But
you're basically
really
deploying software.
Yes. And it's been great.
Yeah. The bigger problem for most people would be then broadcasting a wireless signal, but you already had access points. So,
well, I had two. My router was 2 Orbi mesh nodes, and I just put them into access point mode so that they could then broadcast. But then I was like, well, I've got these outdoor access points that are a different mesh because they're Omada. They're not the Orbi whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I should just, I'm enjoying separating things out. I'm enjoying that my router just does routing and my wireless system can do my wireless, and now they're not tied together because sometimes you want to upgrade one and not the other.
Right.
And so I went out and I bought more Omada access points. So I, of course, had to run the Omada controller software suite in Docker on my new Merger FS server to control all of this stuff. Yeah. So I got 2 Omada EAP 650 access points, and they're in mesh configuration, and they are my wireless. And so they got the wireless backhaul on. So one is connected into my Pi 4 router.
Yeah.
And then everything else just links into that. I also added, this is just my new hardware list. So I got those 2 EAPs. I got a 6 terabyte Western Digital Red. I got a USB NIC for the Pi 4 router because you have to have 2 Ethernet ports for it to be a router, obviously.
You need a WAN and a LAN.
I got a ProBox 4-bay SATA enclosure to hook up all my extra drives into my Merger FS. This is so cool. So my server rack is right next to my recording setup. It's all my computer stuff's all in one spot.
Yeah.
And my NAS is so loud that I'm always worried about it picking up on the mic.
Yeah.
And I did some searching online, and I bought isolation feet that go on the bottom of turntables.
Yeah.
I can't hear shit now. I mean, it made it so quiet that I feel stupid for having it sit there for so long. I had it sitting on a neoprene mat on top of bubble wrap because it was so loud. It was on a wooden shelf, you know? And these feet are like super like gummy jelly.
Yeah.
And they're for 8 rubber feet, they're exorbitantly expensive. At like $30. Oof. I would expect to pay like $2 for 8 rubber feet. But They are definitely weird rubber. They have a weird name too. But they, oh my God, anyone that's like, man, this computer or this server next to me reading these hard drives is so freaking loud. Get you some isolation feet.
I don't know if you saw a guy's comment in the chat.
No, what did it say? Same problem for your NAS and ass tonight. What?
Because before you were talking about how you're having some loud farts.
Yes, on the pre-show.
On the pre-show.
Yes. Right.
And now you're talking about how you have a loud NAS. And I just wanted you to
know how it is.
I wanted to make sure you saw that because that's some poetry that Guy shared with us there.
So my general projects right now, I downloaded and sorted all of my Google Photos off of Google into Image, which for people looking for like a self-hosty cloud photo manager, Image is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's
great things about it.
Holy cow, it's
I just
great.
Don't use Photos enough for me to care. So
right, like if you're like, I got a few hundred photos and that's whatever, you're fine. But if you're like me and it's like you've got 3 different people with 3 different phones and 300 gigs of photos each, well, how do you fucking sort that?
The only photos I have are my cat and my video games, so I don't really care that much. So
yeah, I have those and then a kid on top of that.
Yeah,
so
you've
it
got a kid.
So I've started employing my old GPU to transcribe the podcast with Faster Whisper. So I'm hoping to get all of the podcast episodes transcribed so we can then search them for stuff because we don't know what the people will come in and be like, yeah, you remember in 2016 when you said this? And we're like, no. I don't remember 2016.
Also,
much
so
less.
we can remember all the times we contradicted ourselves, which is probably frequently.
We could find out perfectly. I have moved my Pi-hole from my NAS to my Pi VPN and set up proper DNS forwarding on it, which I should have done forever ago.
Yeah.
I set up weekly downloads so that the show is downloaded and transcribed automatically, and I set up SQM so that my downloads quit killing my internet all the time. Because my house, it's like being in 2001, where whenever the internet's going slow, you have to turn around from your desk chair and shout, who's downloading a bunch of shit? And you hear from across the house someone be like, me, sorry.
Yeah.
But with SQM, I don't have to do that anymore. I can just not worry about it. It's awesome.
Yeah. You just ask somebody who's got Napster running.
It's quit downloading Butthole Surfers. I got
I had to explain to one of my coworkers that Butthole Surfers was a real name of a band.
Oh,
because he's way too young. He was born in this century. So
I noticed the youngs are a lot less vulgar with a lot of their vocabulary. I think a lot of it is from growing up in online platforms where you
have to self-censor.
Yeah, granted, I think you can say butthole on the internet still.
Correct.
But I could see someone being like, no one really. You know what I mean? Yeah. I could see that.
Their more thing was they thought it sounded really stupid. And they're like, nobody would have picked a name that stupid.
Does is like, continues to yes, is definitely a stupid name, but good music. Yeah. So I've been like, because my wife's out of town right now, and she works from home, so this is my chance to upgrade all my network shit, pull down all my access points, like get it all set up.
Her workflow.
Yes, because before it was like, hey, if you mess it up and the router's down for a day, she misses a day of work. Right. So since she's out of town, I'm like speed trying to get this all set up. So I'm running my Ryzen 5 with the 1660 Ti. That's my pool server. I'm running my Ugreen NAS. That's my RAID. And then I'm running a Raspberry Pi 3, 4, and 5, all performing crucial things in my network. And I've got PoE hats coming for each of those, so I can then PoE them on the new Switch that I'm getting, which is exciting, exciting stuff. But yeah, it has been an ordeal, but I'm feeling really good about my home setup. I got a little fire extinguisher up there. I got backups going.
Speaking of PoE,
yes,
we had the dumbest fucking problem at my office the other night. So our site manager, she just got a brand new office built. Like area that used to be cubicle area is now walls. So they put in drywall and everything so she could have this office. Because every time that she had visitors, she was just sitting in a cube because she wanted to sit with everyone else.
Sure.
And anytime that we had like guests show up or the governor or somebody like that show up at our office to meet with her, it was just like in the middle of all these cubes, and it was becoming a problem. So she had an office built, and when she had her office built, she had a video conferencing TV set up in there so she can do her conference calls without just being on her laptop.
Right.
And it kept hanging up, and they were trying to reboot it, and it would never reboot. And so they sent it back to the manufacturer 4 times to try to get this thing fixed, because it just wouldn't ever unhang. And they sent me in there the other night to try to figure out if I could get it to reboot at night when she wasn't there, just to get it working. And we finally realized that not only was it getting power from its power cable, it was also getting power from power over Ethernet. So you had to unplug both of those in order to reboot it. And then we discovered it was also getting power over HDMI. So you had to unplug all 3 things to reboot this device, then plug them all back in. And we were like, you just need to get a different brand thing. This is awful. Destroy this device.
Too much.
Right?
Too much. Yeah. Other than that, I played a little bit of Mini Shoot Adventures because you'd been talking of it, and
so
still
good.
a fun game.
I
Still a
love
fun
that
game. And I'm still playing Slay the Spire 2.
Me too.
I've reached a point where I cannot beat the game as the Silence. I don't know why. Every other character I do fine with. I'm not like killing it with them, but like I perform normally, right?
Yeah, I'm at Ascension 3 with all the characters now.
Something about the Silence, I cannot get through Act 3 one time with her, and I don't know what they changed or what I'm doing wrong or
That's
what
the
it
one
is.
with Osti, right?
No, Silence is the
the poison one, from the first game.
The poison lady. Yeah, she was in the first game. She had
I
the
never
little
remember
daggers.
their names.
I cannot beat it as Silence. I don't know why. I've looked up
Silent,
guides.
that makes more sense.
Oh, is that it? The Silent.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Silence is a bad guy from Doctor Who. Thank you, guy. I cannot fucking beat it as her, and I'm determined that I will not play any more of the game until I beat it as her, and I don't know why. I don't ever impose these kinds of challenges on myself, but I've just decided that, and it's brutal. I'm getting sometimes
I like the poison / shiv build.
Yeah, me too. And I've got all these different builds and like rankings and everything. Like I just the times I am doing well, I just get really RNG boned, and I'm like, what the hell, man? Like this was exactly the battle that I can't beat. There's bad matchups. So I don't know. I swear that the game has some kind of AI that's like, oh, I see what you're building. Fuck that thing. But it's only for the Silent. It's not for anybody else, it seems. But yeah, what you been doing, Saturn? You've been building huge amounts of home server hardware, maybe? Perchance?
I mean, yes, but most of mine is built and functional, so I've only been doing maintenance-y stuff on it. I did set up a new container on my server that runs anything LLM, which is just a local LLM host, but it needs its own processing. So I also had to set up a Lemonade server, but my server is not really good enough for that because it has no GPU in it. So I set up Lemonade server on both my desktop and my laptop. My laptop is running it off the NPU, and my desktop is running it off the GPU. And on my desktop, it can handle bigger models because it's got the GPU. Because I'm running a 9070 XT in there. And it handles it fine, but if I leave it running in the background, my game suddenly dropped from 160 frames a second to 20 frames a second.
Yep, it'll do that.
And so I have to remember to kill it anytime that I'm starting a game. On my laptop, I can't handle as big of a model. I can only handle like 3 or 4 B models, whatever the B is. I don't remember.
That's anything below 7 is going to be kind of
a little dinky. But because it's running it entirely off the NPU, it's like does not task the computer at all. It is super fast, and it is absolutely no heat, no drain on the CPU or the GPU. And I kicked it up to an 8B model just to see if it would handle it, and it does. It just takes a moment longer because it has to throw it all into RAM. But it is much more efficient than my desktop is. This whole time I've been trying to figure out what the fuck the NPU in my laptop is for, and that is it.
It's for that. Yeah.
So it is explicitly that. The problem that I found is I have no idea what to do with it. So I've got it all set up, and I'm just like, well, now it's there.
Perfect.
But also, I've been playing more with Linux from scratch on my spare laptop on my HP, and I've gotten all the way into a functioning GNOME desktop.
You did it.
The only issue I'm still having is, one, I can't set up Plymouth so I can have a fancy boot screen instead of just seeing all the log shit when it's booting up. And I learned the reason for that is I don't have an initram FS, which is not a thing in Linux from scratch unless you make it yourself, and that's really complicated, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I've just decided I'm just going to look at systemd logs when I turn on the computer from now on. That's fine, whatever.
Honestly, I anytime I have a Linux install, I'm always trying to figure out how to turn shit off so that I can see the logs scrolling by.
Disable Plymouth. That's all you got to do. That's the only thing.
Well, now I know.
Disable Plymouth and go into your kernel parameters and turn off Quiet and Splash, and then you'll see all that shit.
There you go.
And then the other thing that I was trying to get working is the sound. For some reason, my sound works fine on my Linux from scratch in the left channel, but the right channel tries to output to a subwoofer.
Oh, that's not right.
And on my laptop speakers, that does nothing. But when I have it plugged into my dock, I have a subwoofer, so whenever I test the right channel, I just hear because it's trying to output to the subwoofer.
Right, it's trying to imitate the guy from Altered Beast.
Yeah, right. But other than that, everything is working fine now. It is just as functional as on my pre-built distros now, which is really exciting. I did not think I was going to get this far. One of my favorite things setting it all up is, so with Linux from scratch, you're basically just compiling pre-built source code. You're not coding it yourself.
Right.
And a lot of the code that you download for a lot of these packages that are necessary for a Linux install are Mason packages, and the compiler that Linux from scratch recommends is Ninja. And so when you're compiling this stuff, you'll do your Mason config, and then you'll type Ninja to compile it, and then you'll type Ninja test to test and make sure that all works, and then Ninja install, and then it installs it. And every time I do, I think about this cartoon that I used to watch back in the 80s or early 90s, where there was a Ninja character, and anytime he threw a smoke bomb, he would say, Ninja vanish, and then he would disappear. And so I just think that, I'm like, Ninja test, Ninja install, and then he just vanishes. And it makes me think that every single time, and I appreciate that.
As is natural.
Right, yeah. But anyway, back to video gamey stuff.
Yes.
So I, for months now, have been having a problem with my 8BitDo Ultimate controller on my desktop, where it just randomly disconnects in the middle of me playing a game for about a second, and then it reconnects.
Oh.
And
how odd.
It's really frustrating when I'm in the middle of like a boss fight or something.
Oh, you don't say.
Because it doesn't disconnect long enough for games to auto pause and realize there's a disconnect. So the game just keeps going. And it's been incredibly frustrating. And I've been struggling to figure out what the issue was. And I even got that 8BitDo Pro 3 hoping that it would fix it.
I remember, yeah. And you still had issues with it.
Yeah, I was still having some issues. And of course, I had other issues with the 8BitDo Pro 3 just because it was in Switch layout instead of Xbox layout and everything.
Right, yeah.
But I finally figured out what the problem is when I was trying to mess with a wireless thing on my Linux from scratch setup. And I was scanning wireless networks, and I realized that 2 of my neighbors are broadcasting their 2.4 gigahertz on literally every channel.
Why? How?
I don't know.
I don't even... What?
So all of my wireless stuff is only connecting through 5 gigahertz or 6 gigahertz because of that.
Because the 2.4 is full.
It's a fucking war zone on the 2.4 gigahertz channel. And
I don't even know how you get a router to do that.
I don't know.
Normally, it'll only go on a couple channels and select automatically. How do you make it like? Are they running an actual jammer? That has to be what's happening.
And the thing is, their name is like the default name for Spectrum for the the carrier for the ISP.
You think maybe they just went and bought like 50 of those default charter routers and just plugged them all in
just
at
like
once?
Spectrum wireless whatever. I'm thinking that the new routers from Spectrum are fucking it. So because all of these are on just named Spectrum Wireless, I'm guessing that it's something that Spectrum has put in their new routers that they're issuing to people.
To destroy everyone else's Wi-Fi.
To just destroy any internet for anyone who's not on Spectrum. But anyway, so the months ago, I had thought about maybe it is a 2.4 gigahertz connection issue, and I had started looking it up, and I found that Intel had issued a white paper saying that 2.4 gigahertz wireless mice that are plugged into USB 3.0 ports fail unless you either drop them to USB 2 or USB 1.1, or you put a dampener on the USB connector. And I was like, maybe that's my issue. So I found an old extension cable that came with a USB mouse that I had bought like 20 years ago that is a USB 1.1 extender in case your USB receiver was too fat to fit in your USB port and not cause a conflict. And so I tried that. Yeah. And it did effectively drop it to USB 1.1, but it did not fix the problem. And so this whole like week I was sitting there like, I just got to find a Bluetooth mouse or something, but shit, now I remember the problem was I don't have Bluetooth on my desktop. I need to find a USB Bluetooth receiver for my desktop, and I'm researching those, and I'm looking for like something that's going to work, and then I was trying to troubleshoot something else on my desktop and the motherboard, and it was like, well, make sure you disable the Bluetooth first because this motherboard has an aggressive Bluetooth radio. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It has no Bluetooth radio. And then I realized I had never actually enabled the Bluetooth service in Linux after I bought this desktop. And so I just go into the terminal and like, system control enable Bluetooth. Oh, look, it works.
Oh, you did it!
I'm just going to link up my controller. Oh, look, everything works. It's all fine now.
Oh, boy.
So
you solved it, Saturn.
I am an idiot is what the problem is.
When you tell the story, you say that you hacked Linux to fix your Bluetooth.
Right, yeah, that's what I had to do.
You don't tell them the rest of it.
Right, I had to hack I hacked the mainframe, and now I have Bluetooth. Also, I downloaded the new Dissidia game on mobile, which released. So it's a mobile game.
Yeah.
It is chock full of tutorials and monetization garbage.
Crystals? Can you buy crystals?
You can buy a lot of currencies.
Gotta buy crystals.
I don't think they're crystals. There's something, but there's like 6 currencies and a little Moogle character that won't shut the fuck up about how to do everything. Fortunately, they haven't bothered to translate any of the recorded audio yet, so at least it won't shut up in Japanese, which is slightly less annoying than the not shutting up in English that Square Enix usually has in their games.
Right.
Also, it has this really weird art style, which I don't hate, where the characters have alternate costumes that are either anime style of their regular costumes from their original games or anime style of them in modern Japanese attire.
Yeah, I saw that. My guess is that they're just like, hello, Zoomers.
Yeah,
like
I think that's what they're doing.
It's the only thing I can think.
And some of the characters look neat in the new art style. Some of them look barely changed from how they are originally. The Final Fantasy I Warrior of Light looks like he's trying to pitch his new demo album or something, which is weird. I don't think I'll go back to the game. That's basically what I gathered from it from my first playthrough. I did win my first play. I was the player of the game that contributed the most.
Now, do you know that you actually won your first game, or that was the thing that mobile games do where they make you win your first game so that you become addicted?
I'm guessing that I actually won because one of the players then messaged me afterwards to tell me that I suck.
Oh! Did you respond with, then why did I win?
No, I just did not respond. That was my choice. But yeah, other than that, still chipping away at Dragon Quest VII, which is still good.
Yeah.
And they did add a feature to the new version of it where you can change your job wherever you want now, without having to go back to the All-Trades Abbey, which is nice.
Yeah, that was tedious as shit.
Yeah. However, the character that changes your job tries to talk like a valley girl, and I don't need to hear that every time. I could have just used a menu. That would have been fine.
Yeah. No. They got to show you what new modern hardware can do with this PS1 game.
Yeah, right.
This old blocky game. Let's do some news.
Yes, sir.
First up, classic Cinemaware game Defender of the Crown is getting a remake.
I played a ton of this on NES. Cool.
I've never played this.
Oh, yeah.
No idea.
Konami ported it over to NES of all people, but it's just an old like Apple II PC game. and it's I don't know if it holds up all right or not, but I played a ton of it for some reason.
Yeah. Slay the Spire 2 has sold over 3 million units in its first week of early access. I think they deserve it. It's a real fun game. Having a good time with it.
Oh, yeah. Now, I do appreciate the early access art. When you, what do they call the timeline? I think it is, and you unlock all these little things
or the epochs or something like that.
And epochs in it.
It's just like little squiggle doodle art.
Yeah, and it's like story to come later out of early access, and it's just like squiggle art, and I love it. I wish they would keep that in the game.
I kind of do too. Yeah,
or make it a toggle for people who bought it in early access to go back and see the goofy
I unlocked
art.
a couple little cards on it, and it was good art, and then I unlocked a squiggle art, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I kept unlocking little squiggle art, placeholder art, and I was like, oh, they're just not done with it.
I also found one card that still has placeholder art on it, and that was also
really
cute. Yeah.
I kind of wish that for like early access adopters or something, they would include a special mode where it's all the placeholder art for everything.
That's what I want.
I would love that.
I just want to toggle when the full version game comes out that I can go back to early access art.
Yeah, like I'd pay $1.99 for that as DLC, because I know there's some stuff they probably don't have squiggle art for. They'd have to go make it for, you know. But I'd pay a couple bucks for that as DLC. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Hackers have managed to crack the security on the Xbox One using a power voltage exploit. Xbox One has to date been unhackable, so this is exciting news for the emulation community.
And there was questions as to whether it was unhackable because it was unhackable, or if it was unhackable just because it had that easy access developer mode, and so nobody really needed to hack it.
Nobody wanted to, yeah.
But now that it has been hacked, I am excited to see what comes from it.
Same. About 2-3 years from now, I think there's going to be some cool shit.
Right?
Yeah. The Performing Rights Society in the UK has sued Valve over distributing games with licensed music without themselves obtaining a license to the music. So we chatted about this for like a good hour or two, because I didn't know what the Performing Rights Society was in the UK. And apparently it's kind of like a guild type situation where like you pay them a fee, and then you can, you have a license for their stuff. And the weirdness, because I saw a lot of people being like, why would Valve have to pay to license? Right. That's like Walmart paying to license the music in the movies that they sell.
Right, exactly.
But I think it's because I was thinking about it of licensing in like American terms, where I'm like, licensing to me means, hey, I'm selling this copy of Halo, so you have to license it now, which means you have to go to Microsoft and pay them to use the Halo music.
Right.
Which is weird, but it's more like a driver's license, or like in the UK they pay for like TV licenses, where it's more like you pay this broad licensing fee and then you may utilize these works. Still a little weird with the whole international situation.
Well, it's also weird because the publishers of the games have already paid that license
they have
fee.
Feasibly paid that. So it
feels
is still
like double licensing to me.
It is still odd and double dipping, but there are some kind of UK nuances to it that make
regulation around it.
I would say this. I would say slightly less ridiculous than a lot of news has been pitching it as lately.
To our dumb American brains, it still seems weird.
Right. Even knowing the details, it still seems weird.
Right.
But apparently, like Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft and everybody else does it, so there's precedence.
Right.
So just a weird situation.
Yeah.
Electronic Gaming Development Company, which is apparently what some not good at naming stuff person named a company, which is the Saudi investment group that previously acquired SNK, has acquired a 5% stake in Capcom. For the love of God.
Yeah.
Name your company anything else. This is the stupidest name. It's so dumb.
Well,
it's almost as dumb as Electronic Arts. What a dumb name.
Which I believe is also owned by that same group.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Sony and AMD showed off a new PSSR model for the PS5 Pro on a handful of games. I cannot believe they're calling it PSSR.
It's
that says pisser.
It's a PlayStation screen reflections or super resolution or something like that.
Again, rename it. It's pisser. You made pisser for the PlayStation. Why would you call it pisser? Everyone is going to pronounce this pisser. Immediately, I called it pisser every time it came up.
Yeah. It does look pretty nice, though. I'll give it that.
Yeah. The technology's sound. Bad name.
Yeah.
Bad name. Speaking of the inverse of that, NVIDIA announced and showcased DLSS 5, and the internet had a reaction.
It did, yeah.
They ranged from because I looked at I watched the video and the Digital Foundry video. It ranged from like, this is pretty good to this looks real bad.
Yeah, a lot of it is also because the models that it was trained on are all based on like supermodels. A lot of the characters end up looking not correct. Like they're all made up and shit. And that's and it just does not fit the game itself. Also, somebody was showing the slow-mo of the FIFA footage or EAFC or whatever the fuck it's called now. And like the ball was going through a person and then also through a net for a couple of frames. Like in motion, you don't notice it, but if you slow it down, you can see that the AI is having some real bad hallucinations there.
Yeah.
And then of course
it's one of those. It really seemed like the bits that we saw of it were very carefully selected.
Yeah, and not carefully enough.
Yeah.
And then of course Jensen Huang came out and said, no, it's the users who are wrong.
Of course,
this is actually great technology, and you guys are reacting poorly.
We have to love it so he can afford all those leather jackets.
Right.
The leather industry is on its knees begging him to please stop buying so many leather jackets, and he refuses.
I don't remember what tech guy showed up at an AMD conference and like what looked like the knockoff brand jacket of what Jensen Huang normally wears. It was one of the AI guys. I don't remember which company though.
Oh God, I love that they have these little stupid outfits. They've all got to have like a little. This is my little outfit. Steve Jobs had his little outfit, and then Jensen Huang has his. They have these little outfits. It's so dumb. Todd Howard says he made a mistake announcing Elder Scrolls 6 so early. You don't fucking say, Todd. You don't say? Really?
Who would have thought?
I'm sorry. Todd Howard made a mistake, and it was related to an announcement?
Who would have thought?
Unheard of.
Yeah.
Next, you're going to tell me Peter Molyneux overpromised something.
Elder Scrolls 6 was announced in
1993.
Yeah. I want to say it was 2018.
Oh my God!
When they showed off
Has it been that long?
I think that's when they showed the teaser. Was it in 2018 or 2019?
Man.
Yeah.
The CEO of Krafton, PUBG, Callisto Protocol, etc., used an LLM to come up with an excuse to fire the CEO of Subnautica studio Unknown Worlds, as well as several of the main developers on the game, weeks before they were entitled to a massive bonus for the launch of Subnautica 2. A judge has now ruled the firing illegal and ordered Krafton to pay out over $250 million to those who were terminated. Good for them for winning that court case and getting their money. If you're going to fire someone, at least have the decency to give them a stupid, badly written human reason for it, you dum-dums.
Apparently, Krafton's lawyers couldn't come up with a reason to fire them that was legal. And so the guy just went to the LLM and was like, well, you come up with a reason. And it was like, great, here's a good reason.
Why would they think that that's a good idea? Why would you think this? This is the problem, people. This is the problem. I'm so tired of people using LLMs for everything except for what they're good for.
Well, CEOs have this weird AI brain rot right now where they think that the LLMs are so smart.
Like, yes, it's good at disseminating large chunks of information that I don't want to go through. It is not good at being my girlfriend and firing people.
Well, the problem is the LLMs are smarter than the CEOs, so they don't realize how dumb it is.
Animal Crossing's GameCube port has now been recompiled on PC. I haven't played it yet, but I'm excited. It's kind of a process to get it set up, so I need to. I'm stoked.
Supports all kinds of new features, so yeah.
I got all the project downloaded. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I have some other projects. You might have heard about them.
No.
The Final Fantasy IX anime adaptation may be back in production via a French studio. We'll see if they include all of Zidane's tendencies in the.
Is this still anime if it's French?
We've decided that other people can make JRPGs that aren't in Japan, and that it is now a style, not necessarily determiner of the location of the production.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I guess that was also the French who made it.
As a society, we've decided they made Clear Obscure, so they're allowed to make anime and JRPGs now. That's the rule.
Can we get this before the same judge that decided that AI firing suit?
Yeah. So the French are now, for all artistic purposes, they can now be both French and Japanese.
Okay, that's good.
So they can do JRPGs and they can do anime.
That's good.
That's the rule.
I'm fine with this.
It has been declared. A pair of Jalico arcade collections were announced for future release on Steam. No release date yet, but each collection includes 16 titles. It's cool to see kind of some of these smaller companies, Sunsoft and Jalico and such, kind of getting their little collections out there. It's nice to see.
The first collection, they've only announced 10 of the 16 titles on each collection so far, which is weird. That's a weird way to do it. The second collection does have EDF and Avenging Spirit, and that's enough for me.
Nice.
So I'll probably be picking that one up.
PlayStation is reportedly phasing out the PlayStation Network branding, which I get it.
I don't.
I do. Like, I feel like in the Xbox 360, PS3 era, the online components were very much like, this is a new idea, and it needs to be its own separate product so we can explain to you how this product is different from just the hardware you bought. And these days, it's like, your PlayStation is PlayStation Network. Your Xbox is Xbox Live. You know, like, I don't know. I kind of get it. But, you know. And finally, due to a stoppage for reasons we don't want to get into, helium prices are spiking, which is affecting magnetic hard drive prices. For people that don't know, traditional hard drives above a certain capacity are often filled with helium.
Yeah.
I think it's like 8 terabytes and up usually. Yeah. So those are going to now get expensive. So I'm glad I got in under the wire. I got 2 4 terabytes on the way. Because those are going to go up, then everyone's going to buy the non-helium ones because the helium ones aren't accessible, and everyone just get ready. Nobody's going to have any storage anywhere.
Yeah, it's going to suck real bad.
I went to buy fucking SD cards. I now in my head I'm like, surely SD, because I buy 5 packs of 16 and 64 gigs just to have around because I use them in so many projects and they wear out and stuff. Damn. And I went to buy a 5-pack of 64 gig, which is normally...
How many SD cards do you go through?
I mean, I've usually got 3 to 6 Pis in rotation at any amount of time.
Yeah.
At least 2 or 3 retro handhelds. We got phones, tablets, all sorts of stuff. We use them in all of our cameras. We got 6 or 7 cameras on our property that are always recording the SD cards. And yeah, we go through a lot, man. We really do. And I went to buy, normally I buy a 64 gig 5-pack, and it's like, I want to say it was like $25.
Yeah.
Not anymore. It's $25 for like one 64 gig SD card.
Damn.
Now. I know
nuts.
it went up astronomically, which granted it's still, in the realm of like money, relatively cheap.
Yeah.
But I went to find I couldn't find an 8 gig for less than like $20.
I've got a bunch.
I might buy some off you because I need some.
You remember when I got all those Raspberry Pis for my last job I was trying to flog? Every single one of them had either an 8 gig or 16 gig SD card, still new and sealed. Yeah. And they're all just sitting in a drawer.
Yeah, those are what I use because I use a lot of Pis around my estate for various projects. And usually it's little stuff like I have a Pi 3 that all it does is display Grafana, and so I just need a little tiny. I'd use like 128 gig for that because I didn't have anything smaller.
Grafana sounds like the parody of Nirvana on a bad cartoon.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the Grafana concert. Come on, Doug Funny. Let's go. It's me, Skeeter. Honk, honk.
That's exactly what it sounds like, yes.
We need to get to the topic at hand because we're already running long, and it's Falcom.
Oh.
Makers of the hit video game Gurumin, which I do remember well from PSP, although I've never played it.
And it's also on 3DS and PC.
Shortly. Did it? I forgot it got ports. It did, didn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Biographical info. Falcom was founded March 9th, 1981 by Masayuki Kato in Tokyo, Japan. Kato? Yeah, I guess it would be Kato. As far as first encounters, I guess I would have been aware of Falcom as a company because I knew of Faxanadu.
Which they didn't actually make.
It's true.
Yeah.
But it's Falcom.
Right. It's a Falcom property though.
It's but I never owned or played it before our show on it.
Oof.
I was aware of, but never owned or played Gurumin or what's the other NES one? Legacy of the Wizard. I knew of it. Never played it.
Also, Treasures and Trapdoors, I think it was called in the U.S.
So I think it would have been playing Ease on your recommendation is probably my introduction to them. I remember being at my old house and my daughter was just born. Because I remember we had like a little portable crib so that, she could be in like baby jail while you did something.
Yeah.
And I had her little baby jail in my office and she was like playing with her toys and I was playing Ease and I was like, this Ease thing is pretty cool. So I guess roughly 10-ish years ago would have been my introduction to Falcom.
Tombs of Treasure. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yes.
It's another NES game that came out over here.
Kmart brand Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It basically is, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a first-person dungeon crawler on NES, so yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Saturn?
So it's hard to say the first time. Probably Legacy of the Wizard would be the first time that I played one of their games, but the first time I noticed them as a company would have been Ys, probably on the TurboGrafx, maybe the Super NES Ys 3, one or the other. But I pretty quickly became a fan of the Ys series. I liked it. I was a fan of it, and then was sad that they just never made another one after the third game.
Oh my gosh, hold on, wait, no. Ys 7. I played Ys 7 on PSP.
Oh, no, not the PSP version. Oof.
I played on PSP, and I remember being like, this Ys thing is kind of cool. I wonder where the other 6 are. Never heard of them. I remember that.
Oh, Ys 7 on PSP. Okay,
yeah. Yeah, Ys 7.
Yeah.
Ys 7.
Ys 6 was on PSP. Don't play that. That's a mistake.
Oh, okay. All right.
It has 2 minutes of load time between every screen.
Ugh.
It's a real bad port. Anyway.
Weird.
But yeah, I remember after Ys 3, I was like, man, it sure would be nice if they released another one. And it wasn't until many years later that I discovered that they had, just not over here. And then Ys 6 came out, and I got super into that and have kind of followed the company since then. So.
Yeah. Well, this is another Saturn-heavy episode.
What?
So Saturn, thank you for doing all the notes. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's a company. Who would have guessed that Saturn did these notes? What? It doesn't say Game Boy in the title. Saturn must have wrote these.
I get real obsessed over looking over the history of a lot of these old companies.
Hey, I appreciate it because I get so bored when I'm saying it's it's like reading old historical text to me when I'm just like, okay, that's good, it's fun to read the fun parts, but when you seem to legitimately be interested in well, then this company bought this company and they renamed it this company and they bought that company.
Yes, I love all that shit.
Just know that I love that you love that. I'm here for the weird shit. I want to know about the canned milk sales.
Oh,
that's what I want to hear about.
We'll get to some softcore porn. We'll get there.
Oh my god.
So we start out Masayuki Kato, who is the founder. He had spent some time working in Thailand, specifically working for a computer research division of an international aid project. And it was while he was there, he became pretty obsessed with computers and games. This would have been in either the late 60s or early 70s.
Oh, really? Okay.
So,
all right, I'm trying to think what computer games he would have been playing in the early 70s.
Computer Space or Pong. That's pretty much your choices.
That's kind of it, yeah.
But first he just developed a love for computers themselves. And then also games unrelated to computers. He got really into mechanical games and stuff like that. So he was just interested in the whole mechanics of it. And so when he came back to Japan, also D&D. He was apparently a big D&D person.
What?
I know.
So that's a little early for it too. Early 70s.
Those would have been mid 70s that he was getting into D&D.
Even mid 70s if he was still in Thailand, I don't know when it made it there. I know it made it to Japan. I wanted to say it didn't make it till the mid 80s. I don't know. I have to look. But regardless, if you're into D&D in the 70s, that's pretty early.
Yeah.
It came out in 74? 74?
I believe you on that more than me.
So there's not a lot of years between 74 and 80 to be into it.
So in the late 70s, early 80s, he's getting back to Japan, and his passion, his design was to create a computer store. That was what he wanted to do to contribute to the computer industry. And so he's trying to think of some name for his business, and he was a Star Wars fan because it was the late 70s, early 80s, and anyone who was a nerd was a Star Wars fan. It was required. So he took the name Falcon from the Millennium Falcon. But he didn't want to just call it Falcon because all the computer businesses in Japan at the time had com in their name because that's part of the word computer. So he changed it from Falcon to Falcom.
The name is literally Millennium Falcon Computers is the full legal title of Falcom.
So that was where Falcom comes from. But he felt like Falcom was too short, and apparently he didn't want to use Millennium because that would have been too close to Star Wars, and he didn't want everybody to realize it. So he just put Nihon at the front of it. So it's Nihon Falcom, which is still technically the name of the company, but people usually skip that part.
Right.
So the proper name of the business was Nihon Falcom.
So the business's full legal name, as if it was a child, would be Nihon Millennium Falcon Computers.
Yes, correct.
Perfect.
And of course,
that's
Nihon
normal.
is just the Japanese word for Japan. So.
Right. Yeah.
So the first venture of Falcom was a computer store called Computerland Tachikawa, which was in the Tachikawa district of Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
And they mostly sold Apple IIs and software for Apple IIs. I couldn't find any information regarding when or if the store itself closed. I assume it did at some point, because they have transitioned to being mostly a software company. There's probably something on Japanese Wikipedia somewhere that just didn't get translated over the years.
I would love to learn that Computerland Tachikawa is still open for some reason.
Well, apparently they did continue to operate a computer store as late as 88. I found an interview in 88 where Kato was like, yeah, attached to our corporate headquarters, we also have our computer store still. So if you want to come buy computers from us, you just swing by the Falcom corporate headquarters. We have a little store down here in the lobby.
I love stuff like that. Like this is totally unrelated, but we have a similar company here in DFW, which is Reaper Games. And their store is attached to their factory.
Nice.
And they make like tabletop games and miniatures and stuff. So you can go there and like literally the building is attached. It's very weird, but it's a cool store.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't even know if that one's still around, but as recently as 88 it was, which is a few years ago now, it turns out.
I can't imagine there's any computer stores anymore. Although we do still have one in my county, but I think it's still legally the 90s here.
I mean, Micro Center's still around.
Barely.
It is always packed every time I go there.
Yeah, that's true. I don't go there much because it's so far, but every time I have been there, it's pretty busy.
And probably because Fry's shut down there, like for all of Dallas-Fort Worth. So
yeah.
So anyway, the store Computerland Tachikawa, it became a modest success. It attracted a lot of hobbyist programmers, including Masahiro Sakurai.
Oh, you heard of that person?
Best
known, obviously, for Kirby.
Yeah. Actually, when I was looking this up, it did say Kirby creator Masahiro Sakurai.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
But also the information I had found that in was decades old. So yeah, it would say that. But no, I also found a video because you remember how Sakurai had started that YouTube channel a couple of years ago, I think during COVID.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
One of his videos is all about his fond memories of going to Computerland Tachikawa back when it was still a big thing. And
I would love to have seen that. That sounds...
It's still on YouTube. You can find it.
No, I mean like the scene in the computer store.
Well, this was before he had ever made Kirby or anything.
Sure.
He just was a kid, a hobbyist, so he would go in there and play with it.
I miss computer stores.
Right?
Like, I mean, like, granted, like you said, we still have Micro Center and stuff, but it's just a different vibe.
It's just a retailer now.
Yeah. And it is,
But there was something different about it back then because you could go in and actually code on the computer if you wanted to and make dumb shit.
Right.
But yeah. So anyway, one of the other hobbyists that would frequent the store was a guy named Yoshio Kia. And Kia developed a friendly relationship with Kato, and they worked out an arrangement for Kia to sell software at the store. This was back in the day where every piece of software wasn't from a massive company. Sometimes it was just from this guy down the road.
It was some guy calling himself Lord British wanting to sell a Colabeth in a fucking Ziploc bag on your shelf. Yeah.
Exactly. And so the first game of Kato's to bear the Falcom name, because they became friendly enough that they started using the Falcom name on Kia software, was a game called Galactic Wars, which is just a real basic shmup for the NEC PC 8801. And that would technically be the first ever Falcom game. And Kato would develop a handful of early games with Kia for Falcom, including a basic Mahjong game called Super Mahjong, and quote, a cult mystery adventure named Horror House, which really just feels like an old Sierra game, but in Japanese.
Yeah.
As well as a puzzle game called Joshi Daisei Private Stripper, which is exactly what it sounds like.
I'm sorry?
It is a game where you get to see strippers.
For some reason, I heard it as Private Investigator Stripper.
No. Just
I don't know strippers. Why, but that was much more exciting to me.
That would have been a better game.
Private Investigator Stripper, it sounds awesome.
No, this is just puzzle porn.
Oh, boring. There's so much of that.
Right. And a lot of Kia's early games really are just first-person text adventures of the style that Sierra was pumping out over here in the West. So it is kind of neat to see the simultaneous development of that text adventure format in different countries. And I'm sure they probably influenced one another in some way or another. But But that was Falcom's start, was text adventures in the same way that Sierra started that way over here in the West. One of the other modest successes early on was Azteca, which is just a very generic first-person dungeon crawler text adventure, and that's the one that its sequel, Azteca 2, is what is Tombs and Treasure on NES. So if you want to play a generic-ass first-person dungeon crawler on NES, it is there. It came out real late in North America, though, so it was dated by the time we saw it.
Yeah.
And then we get into role-playing.
The good stuff.
Yeah, this is when they start with their role-playing direction. So Kia had dabbled in the RPG space. He had released a PC-88 game called Panorama Toe.
About strippers.
Probably about strippers in 83. But then their first big break was Dragon Slayer, which would have been in 84.
All right. Also known as, Trails in the Sky 1, 0, 0.
Trails in the Sky -14.
Trails -10.
Yeah. This is what would eventually spawn basically every franchise that isn't Ys that Falcom ever made.
Yeah.
It's
although I'm still waiting for them to do the proper. I mean, they've already done the fighting game crossover, but any minute now they're going to bridge these two worlds.
Yeah. So, and they kind of have. There's books in the Trail series that reference the Ys games, and there's things in the Ys series that reference. Anyway, that's a whole can of worms. So yeah, it's hard to say how big of an impact Dragon Slayer had on action RPGs and Japanese PC RPGs and the Japanese RPG scene in general. It's just massive. Dragon Slayer was such a tremendous success in Japan. The game borrowed elements from that previous game, Panoramato, as well as Namco's Tower of Draga.
Which was also huge in Japan.
Oh yeah, Tower of Draga, also huge.
I don't think was very huge over here, but was
not as much. No,
very influential in Japan. You heard that one referenced in a lot of early, people like this game really influenced me.
Yeah. And when you look at the Japanese action RPG scene, basically the two games that are credited with forming it are Dragon Slayer and then the much shittier game Hydlide, which is a garbage game. Anyway,
there's one of the old images that we had pinned in the Discord was me just saying Hydlide as if a barf took a shit.
Yes, and that's the most accurate description of Hydlide there's ever been.
I don't even remember why. I don't even remember playing Hydlide. I must have hated it so bad that I received
blocked
it out
as a birthday gift one year.
Oh no, from someone that hates you?
Apparently, yeah. My mom thought it was going to be a cool Dragon Warrior-y style game, and then when we opened it up and played it, she was like, "I'm so sorry."
You're like, "Oh no."
Yeah. But yeah, Dragon Slayer, Hydlide are basically the progenitors of all Japanese action RPGs, at least, and potentially the proto-progenitors of the JRPG.
Yeah, could be argued.
Right. And rather than just sticking to that formula, Kia wanted to change things up with the sequel, with the second Dragon Slayer game, which was Dragon Slayer 2 Xanadu. It was
based off the movie,
based off the Olivia Newton-John vehicle.
Right.
Yeah.
That joke's never not funny to me.
It's good every time. Whereas Dragon Slayer was an overhead action RPG, kind of like Hydlide or Tower of Draga, Xanadu is a side-scrolling action RPG that had more complex RPG mechanics. You had shops, you had inventories, so it was a little more in-depth. It went on to sell over 400,000 units and was the highest-selling PC game in Japan at that time and for some time afterwards.
That is a lot of units in 1985.
Right?
Wow.
The third Dragon Slayer, which was called Dragon Slayer Junior Romancia.
What a name.
Right? They were trying to broaden the audience. It removed a lot of the complex RPG features because they were trying to reach a younger audience, which is why they called it Dragon Slayer Junior, which that's still just a stupid name for a game.
Right. It makes it sound like you're playing Dragon Slayer's kid.
Right, yeah. It's like the Game Boy
showed
port.
Up to save the day. Yeah. Oh, it would be a good name for a Game Boy port.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they continued to kind of just toss up the formula and make it weird with the fourth game, which was Dragon Slayer 4: The Drassel Family, which Drassel is what a lot of Japanese players were calling Dragon Slayer. They would just take the first syllables of each and make it Drassel.
Right, it's a thing.
It's a Japanese thing
with game names a lot. Presumably with other things. I know that it happens with games a lot.
Definitely, yeah. I wonder if they call Final Fantasy FinFan.
Most of them I hear and I'm like, I'm not going to call it that. I would call it FinFan. FinFan's too fun to say. Yeah, I played a lot of that FinFan 3 on DS. Right. Good. I like the.
It's a good FinFan.
FinFan 15 is pretty good. Did you play the cup noodle part in FinFan 15?
Anyway, so Dragon Slayer 4, that's the one that we called Legacy of the Wizard here in the US. That one's kind of a proto search action game.
Yeah.
I think it was post Metroid, but pre development of the search action genre as a whole.
Yeah.
But so yeah, each Dragon Slayer was different. They were just all weird, different games. But because of each of them selling so well, it helped develop Falcom as a company, and they became basically a mainstream success over in Japan, on the PC space anyway.
Yeah.
And that's when you get Ys. They had already kind of developed themselves as a brand, and they release Ys, which becomes a monster success in Japan. And the Ys, we did a whole episode on Ys, but it developed the bump combat. It became kind of the go-to game for action RPGs in Japan for quite a while.
Yeah.
And the first two Ys games, which were originally intended to be one game but split into two due to scope creep, developed by Tomoyoshi Miyazaki and Masaya Hashimoto, who would go on to found Quintet a few years later, who would go on to make Soul Blazer and
Legend of Gaia, wasn't that them?
Illusion of Gaia.
Illusion of Gaia. Pardon me.
And also, I want to say they might have worked on the ActRaiser games. If not, definitely Yuzo Koshiro worked on ActRaiser, and he also helped with the first two Ys games.
Yeah.
So, a good pedigree. They went on to do good things in addition to Ys. And you also started to see ports at this point. You saw both Dragon Slayer and Ys games being ported to just a multitude.
They're on everything.
Yeah, of every Japanese computer and console available at the time.
Everything.
But Falcom themselves never did any of the ports. They stuck to the computer games and the computer versions, and all of the porting was outsourced to other companies. Hudson, Tonkin House, even Sierra started porting some of their games to MS-DOS and releasing them in the West. You can find versions of Dragon Slayer 5, Sorcerian, and Ys with Sierra logos released in English for DOS. But at that point, Falcom was mostly just pumping out PC games in Japan.
Yeah. Which especially at the time was we're talking early to mid 80s. It was basically you brought up the PC-88.
Yep.
8801, pardon me.
Yeah.
Which was real big over there.
Yeah, the PC-88 series, the PC-98 series, that was Falcom's bread and butter for a long time.
Yeah. So not uncommon.
Yeah.
To stick to that landscape.
Yeah. And they just let Hudson and Tonkin House handle all their console ports, and it seemed to work out pretty well for them. They continue to pump out a bunch of PC games, more Dragon Slayer games, Sorcerian, Legend of Heroes, and Lord Monarch. That's when you start to see Legend of Heroes, as well as the third Ys game, and then you got some new IPs in the era. You had Brandish and Popful Mail both come out in the era. I always forget that Popful Mail is Falcom, but it is.
I for some reason I didn't realize that until looking at the notes for this show, and I was like, oh yeah, Popful Mail. I forget about that.
Yeah. I
don't know why.
The Sega CD port is the one that hit the West, and that one was handled by Sega, but again, based on Falcom's work.
I have the Sharp X68000 port of Ys pulled up on Moby Games.
Yeah.
And the portraits are so bad. They're just clearly just pictures of people.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It looks terrible.
Yeah, some of the in-game art from some of those early Ys ports is really awkward looking.
Yeah,
and
strange.
If I remember right, some of it was straight up scans from manuals of Ultima games.
I was trying to look at all the different systems it was released on. MSX, Sharp X1, PC-88, FM7, Master System, PC-98, NES, DOS, Apple IIgs, Brew, J2ME, which is Java, which is feature phones, I guess.
Yeah.
Windows and Switch.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Did it have Android in there?
I don't see Android.
Oh, it's on Android because I've got it.
Oh, well, they're missing one. I better add it to Moby Games. Yeah. Although it might be one of the conversions. Yeah, they have all the conversions listed too. So, yeah, it's probably listed as conversion. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So, for some reason, around this time, even though Falcom is exclusively making PC games, Ys decided to become a console exclusive series after the third game.
Yes, makes so much sense.
But Falcom themselves didn't make the fourth game.
Why not?
This was the weird one. Falcom had written out the story for Ys 4. They had composed the music, and they had created a lot of the art for it. And then they didn't make a game. They just licensed what they had to separately Hudson and Tonkin House. And we're like, you guys make games.
But why?
And then they each made different unrelated Ys 4s. One for PC Engine, one for Super Famicom. And then Ys 5 only shows up on Super Famicom. It's a very strange chapter of the Ys history.
Like, do we know, like, were they trying to, like, maybe get out of development and just be a publisher?
No,
like, what was
I
the
found
plan?
no information about why this happened, just that it happened, and that at the time they were proud of it.
And oddly enough, especially for a company, like, I could see it for a company that just kind of, like, makes unrelated, one-off games, but this is a company known for, even in these early days, making successive games that build on one another.
Yeah.
It just seems really bizarre to be like,
I
don't know, you fucking do it.
Right?
Like, why?
It was just, and the weird part is the interviews that I found from the era, they seemed really proud of this idea. They're like, we're allowing all these different concepts of what the story is. And one of the people in charge of the Ys franchise was like, he said something like he considers each game to be like a myth or a legend told down through the ages, and so hearing these different versions of it makes sense within how he sees the context of the series as a whole. Which
I guess, but
neat,
even that's still, it's still giving up full creative control like that. It makes me wonder if Hudson and Tonka were like, hey, instead of porting your shit, just it makes me wonder if there's some pressure from them, or at least the suggestion of like, hey, why don't we just make it? You know, and you know,
maybe it was taking them too long, and they were just like, fuck it, we're just gonna run with what you got.
Yeah, I would be really. I'm sure we'll never know the real story, but I would be I would be kind of shocked if there wasn't a little bit of pressure from Hudson being like, hey, just let us make it so we don't have to port someone else's thing that takes forever. I could see that.
Yeah, and
I could see it.
And they have since retconned both of those versions and released
because they're so proud of them. Saturn, they're so proud.
Memories in Calcutta is the current canon Ys 4. It has superseded both of those.
Yeah.
You did see after Ys 4 and 5 come out, Falcom shifts their development from PC 98 over to Windows 95 and Windows 98, and they also really leaned heavy on spin-offs, remakes, sequels in that era, mostly old Dragon Slayer games and Ys games. You did see some sequels to Legend of Heroes continue to get developed. This is when the whole Gagarv trilogy comes out, which is Legend of Heroes 3, 4, and 5. And then you also see Zwei and Guruman come out on PC in the late 90s in Japan. So Guruman, that PSP game you heard of, it's actually a port of a Windows 98 game.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And it was also in this era where they hire Toshihiro Kondo. So Toshihiro Kondo, who would go on to create the Trails series.
I've heard of. They've made a couple of those.
Yeah. He was hired at Falcom to run their website because they found him running a Falcom fan page.
Man, what a rags to riches, like...
Right?
The dream, the mega fan that got to work at the company and now is the figurehead of their like longest single running franchise.
Now he's their CEO.
Oh yeah, he is. He
took over, yeah. But that's a hell of a story to go from running the fan website in the late 90s during the era where running a website was a thing in the late 90s.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just like you were posting something on Twitter. This was, took some effort.
I went to Squarespace. Like this,
right?
You built this. Yeah. Yeah.
So it is
sure.
neat that he has moved forward so hard.
Yeah.
But it was by '04. Kondo had started making games. That's when he made Trails in the Sky. It was in 2004, which was the 6th Legend of Heroes game, which would make it the 19th Dragon Slayer, I think. But the first Trails game.
Yes. It's not confusing at all if you just try not to think about it.
It's not confusing at all if you make a series of charts.
Right. No, the charts still don't help. I've looked at the charts. They don't help much.
In 05 is when the 6th Ys game, Arc of Napishtim, was licensed by Konami for PS2 and PSP ports, and that did just well enough that Falcom was like, maybe we should go into console development. And it certainly didn't have anything to do with the fact that they lost their primary PC distribution deal in Japan, and they couldn't get their games onto store shelves. So instead, they pivoted hard into console development, basically with PSP at first. They were heavy PSP developer. That was their primary console. At first, it was just ports, stuff like Trails in the Sky and Oath and Felghana, but then they just dropped PC development altogether with E7 and Trails from Zero, though those would later get PC ports. E7 many years later.
Man, I know we don't talk about it much lately. I think we've done a couple PSP episodes, but man, PSP had some good shit.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of really good shit there. Granted, a lot of the real big stuff has been ported elsewhere, thankfully.
Yeah.
A little bit of Switch syndrome going on there.
Right.
But it's or not Switch, Wii U syndrome, I mean. Yeah. But it's gosh, they had some good stuff.
And there's still a handful of things that are still trapped on that platform.
Right. My immediate thought was name a silly game that's still trapped there, and I went in my head. I went Death Junior, but that was multi-platform at launch, so I don't know why that's. Which the pre-order bonus for that was a stylus that was a little tiny scythe.
I've still got it.
Oh, do you?
Yes, sir.
I haven't seen it since the game came out. I took one home, and then I was like, this is stupid. Throw it away.
I think that was for the 3DS version, though, or the DS version, or whatever.
DS version, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, PSP one wouldn't be able to use.
Wouldn't need a stylus.
Yeah. You could use it to press the buttons, I guess.
You could. But yeah, it was in 06 when founder Masayuki Kato finally stepped down, and he passed things over to Toshihiro Kondo, so the fan took over the company.
Man, this is like when you're a kid and your parents are like, you could get a job bagging groceries and work your way up to head of Albertsons. And you're like, Mom, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
Right.
Yeah, they do, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Granted, Falcom is still a really small company. It has always been a very small company, especially compared to so many of the other Japanese developers. They've always remained relatively tiny.
Seem relatively, I mean, yeah, again, relatively small, relatively focused.
Yeah, I want to say it's
especially
between 20 and 40 people still.
Yeah.
It's a relatively tiny company. And since Kondo's taken over, Trails and Ys has been the driving force of the company. They've continued to focus mostly on Sony platforms, though they have been dabbling into Nintendo stuff these days. They did sign that long-term deal with Xseed in the late 2000s to publish all their games in the West, and that lasted until NIS America took over. But yeah, at this point, it's mostly an Ys and Trails company with the occasional Xanadu peppered in, and they have tried to stay small. They've tried to stay a tiny, tight-knit company. Apparently, one of Kato's mottos is the company motto, which is "Don't spend too much time, but don't cut corners," which sounds like something your grandpa would tell you.
Well, he's the guy that worked up from bagger to owner of Albertsons.
Well, no, he's the one who started in Thailand. He was the founder of the company.
Oh, right. Still.
Yeah. He still started from nothing and made the company, so.
Right. It's just so do they still publish their games in Japan, or
they do all the publishing themselves.
It's just the Western that's all NIS now.
Right. Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah. They still publish all their stuff in China and Southeast Asia. It's mostly published by a company called Clouded Leopard Entertainment.
Oh, okay.
Who?
It's better than what was that name earlier? The video game entertainment company or something?
It was an electronic game development company.
Yes. Yeah. Electronic game development company.
Yeah. But yeah, they're still hanging on. Unfortunately, Masayuki Kato passed away December of 2024. And Kondo still runs the company, and they announced that Dragon Slayer is returning as part of the company's 45th anniversary in the near future.
Yep. And they said that Trails is going to go through, what, 2034 or something?
I think they said.
Yeah.
So we got a few more years of that. I don't see Ease going anywhere anytime soon, so that will continue to fuel the company as just more Ease and Trails games for a couple years, and apparently the return of Dragon Slayer. Who knows what fucking genre Dragon Slayer will be this time?
No idea.
Maybe it'll be a rhythm action game now.
What's interesting to me is, and I guess this is kind of getting into final thoughts, is it's so refreshing to see a company that's like, hey, we're just really focused on this one thing that we've done pretty good for a long, long time. We want to keep adding to this body of work, and that's kind of all we're really interested in doing.
Yeah.
And it's so rare to see these days where everyone has to be everything. Everything has to be diversified, and it's got to be a cinematic universe, and it's got to have an app, and it's got to do all the shit, and it's got to have
Trails
the spin-offs.
kind of is a cinematic universe at this point.
I mean, but they've built that by just continuing to
do what they
make
do.
the games. Yeah, to do what they do. Maybe it's just because I'm speaking as someone who's done 560 episodes of a podcast over 12 years, but the idea of like, hey, I like doing this, I'm good at this, and we're going to do this because this is what we believe in and this is who we are.
Right.
It's refreshing to see. Like 20 years ago, it felt old-fashioned. Today, it's refreshing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, to see that they're not like, oh, we're buy Falcom coin. We're going to open a casino.
Right.
Here's, just stop. Just make the games.
Yeah.
Make the games and sell them to us and we'll buy them. And then that's all you got to do, man.
and it's just been nice to see them stick to what they do well and not try to branch into 1,000 different
right, which I mean, that's not to say they don't experiment and have fun and enjoy what they're doing. Obviously, I mean, it shows in their work, but it's just nice to see companies that aren't
bending to investor whims all the time.
Yeah, they seem driven by an artistic vision,
exactly,
rather than driven by shareholder value or whatever else.
Right,
and so it's nice to see that. Although we do have a track record of saying these nice things about companies,
and then they immediately fuck
you
their
have
own
phones,
face.
don't you?
Yeah.
So hopefully the Retro Warriors curse does not extend to Falcom.
Right. We'll see. We'll see what Dragon Slayer's 45th anniversary edition turns out to be.
Dragon Slayer iOS exclusive on Apple Arcade. Gotcha game.
It's just going to be a Fortnite clone.
I'd kind of play that. I kind of would like that, though. If it's like a Dragon Slayer themed Fortnite clone, I would try it.
Yeah.
Don't tell Falcom. I don't want them to get any ideas. But
it's a Western fantasy themed fucking Dead by Daylight game.
I'm down for it. So yeah, as far as final thoughts, it's I like obviously I'm a latecomer to Falcom, but they've been around since '82.
Yeah, and
I showed up recently. But it's nice to, like, when I started playing the Trails games, which granted I still have barely started playing the Trails games.
Right.
But it's nice to just get to know that I have this large body of work that's going to be, there's ups and downs, but on the whole, it's consistently this the whole time.
Yeah.
They're just going to consistently be this, and here is a lot of this for you to enjoy and spend time with, and it's just, I guess now I'm getting into broad cultural touchstones and things. Right. Like, we just don't spend time with stuff anymore, and everyone's too impatient. Right. But so I'll quit rambling. But it's nice to see. So I enjoy Falcom for that.
I just want to say that I can't ever hear anyone say "on the whole" without thinking that joke from Austin Powers about Preparation H.
Yes, it is good on the whole. I would love some chocolate ass cream.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good place to stop.
Yeah, if you love chocolate ass cream, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Retro Warriors.
Stick around for Guy after the Patreon.
Right, stay for after Guy after we do this part. Don't skip this, but you got to listen to it. You're legally obligated to listen to this part
if you
too.
Listen to Guy.
You have to. If you want to listen to Guy, you got to earn it.
Yeah.
You got to listen to the Patreon plugs, and then you have earned the right to hear Guy speak.
Yeah.
But until then, We have Talking Wizards. We have Russia Warriors Uncut. We have Russia Warriors Read Along.
Yeah.
We have lots of stuff. As I've been transcribing the show, I'm realizing. I mean, we have there's so many shows. We have like 1,300 episodes listed on our Patreon and our library. Between all the shows and various versions of everything, and uncut and cut versions, and this and that. There's a
lot of content.
It's well over 1,000 hours of us just doing this for a really long time, for years.
Some reason.
Anyway, we want to thank the following patrons for their kind donations. Oh, and I need to say a thing about the patron names. We have changed our process by which we select. I have changed the process by which I select Patreon names, which means I needed to restart the list prematurely. So if anyone hears their name twice close together, then that's just bonus for you.
Yay.
But it's because we've switched over to a new system that will hopefully be less problematic. You would think picking 10 names for an episode would be easy, but apparently, no.
You don't always get to hear it on the show, but there's frequently this chaos as Justin asks his wife how to use Microsoft Excel so that he can get to the patron names. It's a real challenge in Justin's life.
It is. It's hard. I've switched it to a Python script and a small JSON file. So I understand those much better than I understand Excel. And I also understand how ridiculous of a statement that is.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyway, we want to thank the following patrons for their kind donations, starting with Barry McCalkliner.
Yeah, that's definitely...
pardon me. Barry McCalkiner. There you go. That's
definitely a real name. That's somebody's legal name and not something you try to get Moses Lack to say.
No, definitely not.
I love that smell that lingers around the back of retro game stores. Yeah, me too. That's a nice smell.
Jammo.
Thomas J. of San Jose.
Retro Rewired.
Ross.
You struggled on that name. It's so hard.
I was like, there needs to be more syllables than this. That's not enough.
King Vidiot.
Kai Ove Lingvar.
Adam Klugowitz.
And Sean Schaller.
All gave us money.
Yay.
And we thank them for the money. We appreciate money.
Nice
money is good. And money doesn't bring happiness, but it brings things, and things make me happy.
That's true.
Thank you for
it
donating.
Brings audio equipment so that we hopefully don't sound like butt each week.
Right. A lot of money has been recently spent on audio equipment upgrades, which, God, I hope they work out. I hope so badly that they work out. Anyway, stay tuned after the ending theme for Guy.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. And as always, let us cling together. Hi, welcome to the after party with our producer Guy.
I didn't stop the recording. It's safe. It's okay.
That's good. Don't do that. Guy, did you stop yours by mistake?
No, I did not.
Oh, good. None of us preemptively stopped our recording. It's almost like we've been doing this for a decade.
Me and Guy even chatted a bit while you were disconnected so that the uncut listeners can hear that as well.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to even cut it.
Possibly not. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you might want to listen to it, but
make sure that you weren't talking over us or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I don't listen to this podcast. I have much better things to do.
Yeah, me too.
Guy, I want to know what you're here to lambast me about.
Well, first off, I have to say to everybody listening, thank you for listening to the Patreon, and I'm glad that Justin and Saturn recognize my greatness.
Yes. we do recognize
required to earn the right to listen to me.
Right, you've made it through the gate, and if we find out that anyone skipped it and they're still listening to this, we'll find you.
Oh yeah, we'll send Andrew after you.
Yeah, that's what he's really on staff for. That's his job.
He'll come at you all.
Find you.
Yeah, he'll find you.
Yeah. He'll come at you all teeth and fingernails.
Oh, I wanted to call him a professional stalker, but I guess that's just a private investigator.
Yeah,
right. That's a regular stripper private investigator type.
Oh my God. The other thing I have written down here is premature realistication.
What?
You were talking about the Patreons. Needing to like relist them or whatever.
Them?
Oh yeah.
And that's the first thing that popped in my head.
Realisticated them. Yeah. I'm premature realisticator.
Yeah.
God damn it. Hold on, we're on the post show, so I can do my rim shot. So hold on. Which button is it? Is this it? There you go. Got it.
Good job.
Perfect.
Somebody is like just got in a car wreck because they're laughing so hard. Good job. You don't want people to have to give away, you know, their privacy, but you'll murder them in their car. You dumbass. Ba-dum-bum.
Guy, what do you want to yell at me about?
Oh no, I still got one more thing before I yell.
Oh my God.
Right.
I'm dragging this one out.
Yeah.
I have also been playing Slay the Spire 2, and it is a wonderful game.
So good.
Are you having an issue? I feel like I'm the only person that's having an issue with the silent. I don't know what it is.
The silent. I'm right now in the on my second run with the silent, and I have beaten the first boss with every character. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the silent for me is like so intuitive, and I just love his like block and poison, her block and poison build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I got like to the second boss, the first run.
I don't know what it is. The first game I didn't have any issue with Silent. I liked her a lot. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. It was Silent and the Defect were my two favorites.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is.
Yeah, F the first guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ironclad. This was in the first game, I couldn't do shit with Ironclad. This time, I have no issues with him. I don't know what's different. Very bizarre.
Ironclad feels kind of bland and vanilla to me. I'm starting to dig on the Regent. I'm starting to figure him out, and then
definitely weird.
Yeah, definitely a different way to look at it. And then the new undead character with the pet hand. That's my favorite, just because the hand is adorable.
Oh God, what's her name?
I don't remember.
I know the hand's name is Osty. Everyone knows the hand, but she's got a name.
It doesn't matter.
I don't remember it. It's gone.
It doesn't matter.
Osty is the important part of this team.
Yeah,
we are all the Rock now.
Yeah.
Somebody got that joke. What was I saying? Yeah. I've noticed that you get relics a lot easier in this game.
It does seem to throw a lot more at you. Although at the same time, a lot of them seem more useless this time.
Yeah.
I feel like in the first game, I would like beeline for relics because they were so powerful. This one, I feel like about half the time I get a relic and I'm like, well, that didn't really do anything for me.
I got a ludicrous amount in a game the other night.
I saw
I'm at the point where like I don't, right now because my card pool is so limited, I don't challenge elites because I get enough relics. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's one of the things you can get a question mark spot, which is like a fake store where it's still a store, only the merchant guy, all the relics that he's selling, and he only sells relics. He doesn't sell cards. He only sells like 5 or 6 relics, and they're all like degraded versions of the regular relics, but still good relics, and they're like a third of the price of what they would normally be.
Oh, I did see that guy on one run.
So you can stock up on some like junior versions of relics and get a huge head start for minimal amount of money.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll yell at you.
All right, go ahead. I'm ready.
So, everybody, on the advice of one Justin Baker, went and purchased a one of them there Navage nasal snot suckers.
As soon as you started talking, I was like, please say Navage. Please say it, because I got to know that you almost drown yourself in a Navage. This is hilarious.
You've ruined my life and caused my second divorce. So I just need to thank you for that. You needed to have warned me. Well, okay, so I've been using this thing for like a week now, you know, and it does the thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a good nasal irrigator, because Guy, you and questions. Me, you're the only person I know that, because my issue is my eustachian tubes, and I have sinus issues, and it's never my nose or my face; it's always my tubes. And then you're the only other person I've ever talked to that's like, yeah, me too. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Everyone acts like I'm weird. And so I was like, man, I got this Navage, and it's fucking awesome. It's so much better than like a regular neti pot or whatever.
Yeah.
And you had bought one because of that.
Yeah, my ear hurts a lot. I mean, hurts a lot less. Excuse me.
That's good. That's good.
But I imagine that it would pull out more snot than it does.
Yeah. Sometimes it seems like not a lot comes out. I think it just mixes in with all the stuff, you know. And
but for the next couple of hours, I am certainly like hawking up loogies because it's softened what's up there and then it drains.
Yeah.
And like every time, like I thought it was just like salt water, right? But then like I spit it out, and I was like, oh no, that's actual like mucus that's coming out too. It's great.
Let me tell you this: they sell a pod for it that has alcohol in it, not alcohol. It's alcohol.
Yeah,
that shit's incredible. I don't know what the fuck it is, but that's awesome.
A funny version of alcohol.
Shove that up into your fucking nose. It's awesome.
Alcohol sounds like a lollipop made of alcohol.
But I bought today. I ordered the day and night ones to try those.
Yeah.
So I'm invested in it, and I will continue to use it, I suppose, in my sad, lonely, single life.
What has happened? I have to know.
Well, the other day, my wife and I were going to sleep. And we decided it was sexy time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I've heard of this.
And things are going well. We're both excited. We're both into it. A lot of kisses happening. And right in the middle of all this, while things are heating up and going wonderfully, fucking Niagara Falls comes flying out of my nose into her face.
Hot. Yeah, keep going.
You snot rocketed onto your wife's face while you're
No, it
sex?
just leaked. It was like nose water.
Oof.
There's no mucus with it. It just like
stuck up in your tubes or something, or
no, like when you leave the faucet on to like during the winter, and like it's a little bit more than a drip, but it's not like a stream.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that. Just right into her face.
Nice.
Oh, this is amazing.
So, once again, single.
She was not a fan, I'm hearing of that. Is that what
No.
All right.
We
didn't awaken anything in her.
Okay.
Just was,
no, it didn't ruin the evening, I guess. We fought through the awkwardness, and sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you ruined my life. Thank you for recommending this product.
You're welcome.
I clearly have the exact opposite sinus issue that you guys do, because I just have constant drainage all the time.
Yeah, my wife might
this
get
gets rid of it. I have I have drainage too, and like it concentrates all your drainage into like an hour, essentially, and then it's pretty clear. At least that's what it does for me.
No, man, it's great. Nothing else gets my tubes clean. I'd go to ENT one time, and he was like, "Yeah, that just kind of sucks, man." And I'm like, "You're supposed to fix it." And he's like, "Yeah, not really anything we can do about that." And I was like, "Why do you exist? What?
As a human or as a business?
As a business, like as an
good.
ENT." He was like, "We can put tubes in your ears, but that sucks a lot. So it's either that or to deal with it."
The neti pot never does anything for me. It does not work for me. So
it doesn't work for me either.
It doesn't do a lot for me, but I had the squeezy tube kind, and it was okay. This thing is like it's a closed high pressure system, so it like blasts your sinuses.
Oh, hey, that's another question I have. Like, do you immediately stop it when the water runs out, or do you let it suck on your nose for a little while?
Please do tell. I need to know. I'm writing this down.
Do I let it what? What? Let it suck on your nose for a little while? No, man, I stop when the water's out. I don't need to pump a bunch of air into my head.
Well, that's my question. Like, again, like it doesn't pull out that much like mucus or whatever. So I stop it when it does too. But I had the thought in my head, and I was gonna ask you, like, does letting the air go through for a minute suck out more mucus?
No, well, I mean, it would just shoot it. Well, I guess it would go down in the little tub in the bottom. I don't know, man. Right. I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't know. But usually I don't need to anyway. I warm the water up too in the microwave, so it's kind of warm, so it's not frigid water blasting in my sinuses.
You don't boil it first?
Well, I use distilled water. I've had sinus issues for such a long time now.
You don't like use active boiling water?
No, I don't. I don't do that.
All right, good.
Yeah.
It warns you not to.
Oh.
It does tell you not to spray boiling water into your sinus cavity, which I know only exists because someone did.
Yeah, someone was going to do that. Yeah.
And I can't imagine the pain. No, it's bad. Like my wife and daughter both have sinus issues, but theirs is always, it's very nose. And I'll tell them, I'm like, oh, my sinuses and my nose is totally clear. I'm not, there's nothing there. And they're like, it doesn't seem like you have sinus issues. I'm like, no, it's my ears. It's like packed into my ears.
Oof.
It sucks, man.
Yeah.
It sucks. But Navage helps. Navage helps a lot. It's pretty good. I'll forget that I own it, and I'll have sinus headaches for 3 or 4 days in a row, and then be like, oh yeah, and then use that thing and be good.
Nice.
I got the little drying caddy, so it just kind of sits on my counter.
Oh, me too. I have the travel kit, so when I go stay somewhere, it goes with me. Like I'm full, like way extra with my nasal irrigation equipment. But
nice. The first time I used it in front of my kid, he just stared at me the whole time, and then he's like, "What did you just do?"
Yeah.
It's good.
No, it's great, man. I love that thing. I got a new doctor early. This is such an old people whole segment is just an old person shit. I got a new doctor earlier this year, and she told me about it. She said, you should try this Navage thing with alcohol. She's like, I don't usually like recommend specific brands of products, but it's pretty good.
Nice.
And I did, and it's great. You can buy refillable pods for it too, and then got to buy the little shitty pods.
What if you just use a K-cup instead?
Yeah, you could just spray a K-cup right up in your nose.
Oh, my God. That'd be amazing.
So when I got my vasectomy,
you sprayed a K-cup on there.
When I got my vasectomy, I went in and they're like, it's no needles, no scalpels, nothing sharp, touches your body. And I was like, how do you do anything then? It just sounds like it's fake.
Right.
And he showed me the thing. He's like, this is how we numb you. And he's like, it's a air puffer. It's like a high pressure air puffer. And he goes, it shoots the chemical into your body through your pores. Yeah. So there's no needle. It just enters high pressure through your pores. And it feels kind of like you got popped with a rubber band. And it does. And my first thought was like, what other chemicals can I high pressure shoot into my pores? And I was just thinking, like, you could do your high pressure shoot in your pores coffee. That'd be good. Be a good way to just
shoot a K-cup in there.
Get your fucking caffeine buzz real quick.
Gross. And my first thought, of course, is I would still do it on my ball sack. I don't know why that would be. That was
That's just the injection site. Oh, that one peaked at -4. My fucking snort. So yeah. So anybody who's listening, there are sinus cavities below the level of your nose. So you need to tip your head over, kind of upside downish to get it all out. It will come leaking out hours later.
On your wife's
randomly.
face. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Hey, at least it wasn't like your second date or something. You're like, this guy's fucking like leaking on me. I don't know about this.
At least you wait until after the marriage so that you couldn't easily get out of it.
Right. And then you can leak your nose juice on her and shit with the door open or whatever else,
Yeah.
This Well, Guy, you got anything else for us? Any other gross stuff?
No, that's about it.
Nice.
Awesome. Thanks for producing the show.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
And thanks for not leaking on us.
Yes. Please don't leak on me from any fluids out of your body.
Yeah,
I don't
save
really
all
want
that
on
for
me.
your wife.
Yes.
If I become like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man,
yeah.
Can I web at you though?
Maybe.
I don't want you to shoot your man web on me. I just need to be very clear about this. Under no circumstances do I want that.
Okay, but if you fall off the fucking building, I'm not saving you.
As I'm falling, I'm like, shoot your man web! You said not to. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.